What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 667 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the City of Vineland. It's KB coming at you solo dolo with a bit of an off-kiltered episode. Won't be necessarily talking full-blown Philly sports on this episode, as we are still kind of playing catch-up. I do apologize for the timely and up-to-date sports news episodes. They are returning soon, I promise you that. But I do have a big announcement on the show for this one, and I figure it's an easier way to articulate it to the listeners if there's interest there. So that's what we're going to do here on this episode. Big time announcements, the first time since 2019-2020 that we have done this full send, so I'm very excited about it, and if you know, you know. But before we get into all of that, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. You can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, the whole 9 yards. Be sure to check us out on all social platforms. You can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and KBIZZLE11 on Instagram and Threads. KB Underground on TikTok and YouTube. And of course, guys, subscribe to the mother bleeping pod. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. It really helps the show continue to grow, helps the audience just continue to evolve and emerge into the podcast zeitgeist. And it helps us continue to grow as a company when you subscribe, and it lets us do more dope stuff with and for you guys. So keep subscribing on Apple and Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, and ring the bell icon so you know when new videos go live. And, of course, like I said, this show is presented by the City of Vineland. And the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm excited about this, and I hope that everyone out there is. We haven't full send published it too much, but we have announced it, and I'm looking forward to it. And the big thing is we are onboarding. Yes, we are onboarding here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. And what do I mean by onboarding? Kyle, that sounds like a big marketing ploy word. You know, it sounds like you're beating around the bush. No, that's exactly what we're doing. We are onboarding at Underground Sports Philadelphia. For anybody that may be new, this may be your first episode listening or watching the pod. We are an upstart, independent, fully operational media company that has started from the ground up with zero funding investment off the rip. We started on a whim, and we are here trying to build this into the dream of this becoming our careers for everybody that works here. That is a hope. That is a dream. That is a goal. We want to be the next upstart media company that somebody takes a chance on, believes in, and we turn this into our everyday job. Now, with that comes the need for creators and people that are willing to see the vision, like so many of our creators have. You know, whether they are still with us, whether they have gone on to new ventures, or in between. You know, we have been fortunate enough to have people start with us that have gone on to go work at NBC Sports Philadelphia, to go work for professional sports teams, to go work for professional sports leagues, to go and work for ESPN. There's a huge growth tree from Underground Sports Philadelphia that we have webs in one way or another that people have kind of, used us as a launch pad. And then there's the people like myself. There's people like DJ. There's people like Stephen McAvoy who have used Underground Sports Philadelphia and have used it to the best of their ability to make this the best opportunity possible and create in a space that I, as the founder of the company, give everyone free reign to try things and to do things. And if it doesn't work, let's pivot and see how we can make it work. Or we have people come in like Casey and Owen who also believe in the vision of this company and do things on their own. I don't have to worry about them. They are on their island of Formula One and motorsports, and I check in when they need me to, and we make things work, and they are a juggernaut for this company. Very much so, like, with OTB, DJ and I kind of run the operation, and we've been able to bring in somebody like Chase and somebody like Hoots to make our operation that much more enhanced. And that goes to say we're looking to do that for some of our other shows. Now, here's the thing that may shock a lot of you. Underground Sports Philadelphia does not pay me a direct paycheck. I do not make a single dime from Underground Sports Philadelphia. All sponsor money goes back into the company. It allows us to reinvest in the company, to build it up, to be where we think it needs to be at that time where things are occurring. None of us collect a paycheck. We are doing this for the grind and the build-up, and there's no financial backing outside of our sponsors. There's no big investor. There's nobody who has bought the company. I am going to own the IP of this company forever. But that goes to without saying, there are people who may not know that if you come on board with Underground Sports Philadelphia, you're not getting paid directly. So I want to put that out there. If you do apply for this position or positions, know that this is not a paid position. And then we've also had interns come on board who have made the best of the opportunity. Somebody like Harrison for a little bit with OTB, and somebody like Christian who took the internship, was working with Pat Pitts, evolved it into becoming a mic on Streamer Season, and is now part of our company Full Send and gets his feet wet in anything possible with us. We are excited to be onboarding. There's a number of positions on the form that is linked in the description. The positions that we are looking to bring into the fold. And now I will also say this. You don't have to be in South Jersey or Philly or Delaware or wherever. Like, if you are somewhere and you feel like you fit these roles, we have people in South Jersey, in Philly, in New York, in Michigan, in Massachusetts who are doing content for us, and people in other places who have done content for us in the past. So the positions we're looking for. We are looking for a Philly sports host to join me on this podcast. I feel like I am ready to get my feet wet with a potential co-host, being that it's been about 7 months now that I've been without a consistent co-host. So we are looking for a co-host to join me to talk Philly sports on this podcast. I'm very excited about the endeavor. It's scary because chemistry is something that you certainly need for a show like this. But I genuinely would love to have a co-host again to kind of bounce off of and ramble with about our sports teams. So I am looking for a Philly sports host. We are also looking for a Philly sports producer. Whether that be during the show or to help me with clips, to help me get things on social media. We are looking for a Philly sports podcast producer. Now, that could also be in addition to you hosting if you feel necessary, or I may just bring on a producer who's kind of a second mic, but is also the main job is the production side. We are looking, in my opinion, for another mic on the Get in the Hole podcast, our signature golf show with Stephen McAvoy and Ben Pirro. Why I am looking for another golf host. Ben Pirro is in the works of becoming a professional golfer. There are weekends where he is away, and quite frankly, I feel like I drag down the show quite a bit when I have to fill in for Ben because we don't have anybody else to fill in for him. So I step up to the plate as the founder and owner of the company for Stephen McAvoy. But I feel like he needs somebody else in the fold and in their universe to kind of kickstart building up the Get in the Hole podcast to where it needs to be. That is a show that has been around since 2020 and has seen so many different iterations over the years, and they are looking for stability, and I feel like they need somebody else on board with them to make that happen, and that is no slight to either Ben or Steve. I think it would just add to the show and make it better, so that way I don't get pulled in on a Monday when they record. I'm not, just kind of there and kind of a mute mic almost, where I'm just kind of riffing and not really knowing what the content discussion is about per se, because I'm a casual golf fan. I'm not watching weekend tournaments week in and week out. That's not my forte. But I think if we can add somebody else to the Get in the Hole podcast, it would be a huge benefit for that show. We are also looking for a TV movie host for streamer season with myself and Christian. Now, when it comes to streamer season, I love being on that show. I think it's a ton of fun to sit down and watch TV and movies and everything. But sometimes there's moments where we're watching a show that we decide to watch and it feels like homework for me. And that's when I lose interest in doing things, because I want to do things when I enjoy them. And when you're not enjoying something and it feels like a slog and a grind to get through, it takes away and dampers from the content. So I would love to add another mic onto that show, and whether that's in the capacity of somebody producing the show for us, getting recaps for shows so that we have more personable recaps per se of shows and movies for everybody, or somebody that can fill in when I am not around, because my schedule is crazy busy. And I love being on that show, and there will be times that I am on that show, but I would also love to add somebody else. And it sucks that Dylan had to step away and his schedule just stopped providing him time to be on the show, because it was good. And, I think if we add somebody else in, it really helps elevate the show to another degree. So we're looking for another TV movie host / producer. So if you do click host, let it be known if you want to just be kind of a producer, secondary mic on the show. That is also welcome by clicking that role. We are looking for a soccer host. We have a soccer brand called Top Bins that my brother-in-law, Matt Castorina, had to step away from as he went back to school and is now student teaching. So it kind of left Top Bins without a schedule. Our other co-host, Dom Ponteri, is a coach and a teacher as well. And I just feel like that show has so much value, and soccer is such an entity that can grow on our network, where we do have a lot of European sport influence with Formula One, with golf. And Top Bins is our original spin-off show. And I would hate to see that show go on a second hiatus. It went on a hiatus for 4 years. And I would just love to see it have the proper attention to it that it can be given. So if you are interested in the sport of soccer from a Premier League Serie A standpoint, that's where Soccer Host comes into play. We are looking for social media help. Outside of Formula One, I pretty much run every account there is on our network, and it is overwhelming as all get out. Social media is a huge thing, and if I could cut my just plate in half of what I would have to worry about from a social aspect. I think we could make this company a lot more efficient and a lot more attention to detail. But when you are worrying about 5 shows, 4 shows, whatever it may be at a given moment, you get run thin very quickly when it includes a Twitter account, an Instagram account, a TikTok account, a Threads account, some of them a Facebook account. Like, it is brutal. So if you are looking to get into social media and helping a company run social media, that's where you come in line. We are also looking for salespeople because I also run the business side of things with CFO Margie. We need help on that end big time. Looking for sponsors, advertisers, getting promotional content going. I would love to have somebody come on board to help us out with sales. We are also looking for business operations to kind of get things rolling with a liaison with companies and things that they need from us so that I can focus on the content side of things as well a lot more, as well as stepping into business day-to-day things when needed. But to have somebody by my side with that would be great. And we're also looking for data people as well to help us with analytics and our social numbers and everything like that to see where we kind of are stacking up on a month-to-month, week-to-week, day-to-day basis with our content and everything. So those are the positions we are looking for. I'll run through them again. Philly sports host, Philly sports producer, golf host / producer, TV movie host / producer, soccer host, social, sales, business ops, and data. And I will repeat this again. Underground Sports Philadelphia is not a paid position. It is not a paid position at the time, at this current moment. Could it eventually be? Yes. And if you get in now, who knows what that means for you. But that's what we're looking for. I'm excited about this. We've had success with a lot of people who we've onboarded, Pat Pitts being one of them. I know he hasn't popped up on the network in a while. Not too sure exactly what the situation is there per se. But Pat Pitts, as far as I know, is still part of the company. We had our guy Dan way back in 2019, 2020 with Process Potables. That was a success for when he was on board with us. And we had Kevin Guest as well, who for a time was our editor-in-chief when we were doing blogging and everything. And, we've had successful onboards. Harrison Kremitz, Christian, obviously. Stephen McAvoy is a successful onboard. Brittany Wilbur, who's now working at NASCAR, was a successful intern on board. John Mavalia was a successful on board for a time with the Get in the Hole podcast. Ben Pirro has been a successful on board for us in a hosting capacity. But I do feel like it's time for us to elevate our company to another level and to make sure that we are operating at a degree that it's not running me thin and just burning me out and making it so that, I'm not focusing on the things that are delivering top-tier content for us already. Like, that's what I want to pour my emphasis into, is the things that 2 of them I happen to be on with this show and with the Outside the Box podcast, with our Vineland football show that is making its return. That should already be out, if I'm not mistaken. And that's a successful franchise for us as well. And during football season, that is something that takes a lot of my time early in the week. It's a long show to edit together because of how it's shot, because we want to do it in a professional way. And on top of that, I'm also on streamer season, which is not necessarily a show bringing in a ton of views and a ton of listeners yet, but I think with the proper nurturing, it could get there. I think something like the Get in the Hole podcast, with the proper nurturing, the proper backing behind it, can really get there. But when there's inconsistencies and things like that, when hosts are out and they're doing things to better their careers, we need people to step in, and we need that fluctuation and flexibility help big time. And obviously we have a juggernaut in the Formula One show with F1 Underground that I don't really have to touch, which is nice. It's a nice feeling. Casey and Owen do a great job. The only thing that I really do for that show is get the episode up for them. But other than that, they have taken the opportunity with us, and we are so thankful that they are a part of the Underground family, and have really risen to being a tentpole podcast for us and a tentpole brand and franchise, along with this show and the Outside the Box podcast. Those are kind of our pyramid right now of the top dog shows, and then underneath that is Getting the Hole and Streamer Season. Top Bins is towards the basement right now because the lights are off, because that show is on hiatus. And then seasonally it becomes a square, and Guzman's Gridiron is a huge podcast for it. It's a huge franchise, a huge partnership that requires a lot of attention to detail. And the more and more I have sat back, and the more and more we have recovered from going through daily content on the Flame and Olympics podcast, and what that did for us, it was a huge success. But doing the daily content really set me behind with this show, and that's why I'm playing catch up a lot. It's really opened my eyes to being we need to find more people that are willing to kind of, get their start with us, and we can help you grow, you help us grow, and we will always be in your corner to support you. If you stay with us, move on from us, the door is always open. You can ask anybody who has come through this company, whether it be somebody like Brooke Destra, who is working at NBC Sports Philadelphia now, Alex McIntyre, who is the Philadelphia Wings team photographer, Brittany Wilbur, who works at NASCAR, Andrew Healthman, who works at ESPN, Tom Senerchia, and Owen Mitchell, who both work at ESPN. The door is always open, and we always leave that open, and we are so proud of our Underground alumni who have gone on to do huge and massive things with their careers. But I do think it is time to onboard for the second time in company history, and get the ball rolling, and get some new faces in the mix, and make this another step up and a level up, because 2026 is a huge year for us on our calendar, and it's right around the corner. 2028 is a huge year for us, and it's right around the corner. So I really do want to put that point of emphasis out there, and if you feel like you fit any of these roles, or there's a role that's not listed that you feel free to click other and fill that out. We are more than willing to listen to potential opportunities that you may bring to the table, but I'm excited about this endeavor, and bringing in some fresh faces, hopefully, to Underground Sports Philadelphia and our family of podcasts. So yeah, fill out the form. It is linked in the description of both the audio and video version of the show, and I'm excited. Welcome to onboarding season here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. Looking forward to chatting with everyone. If you fill out the form, I will be making my first round of connections with everyone after the Premier Lacrosse League Championship game, which is September 15th. So the week of September 15th is when you should start to hear from me. So if you don't hear anything yet, don't worry. I'm not reaching out until then. That's when my full-on busy season gets cut in half to a degree. I still have football season going on and Red October and everything, but lacrosse takes a bit of a break. I'm not traveling as much until later on when I'm going to Philly every weekend for wing season, but can kind of breathe a little bit, you know what I mean? So I encourage anybody to fill out the form, and you could end up like Christian, like Pat Pitts, as somebody we onboarded and has stayed on board, or you could see yourself rise up to a different rank with a different outlet, and we will support you full send. So yeah, I'm excited. Please, if you know somebody who would fit the bill of this form, send it their way. We are highly encouraging as many applicants to apply as possible. So definitely check it out. Let us know what you feel you could bring to the table, and I'm looking forward to meeting with every single one of you that apply for this onboarding position here for the fall of 2024 with Underground Sports Philadelphia. And I'm excited to meet a lot of new people and see where things can go and where we can build to new levels with this company and with our shows, and how we can elevate content and just learning from fresh faces and fresh brains, because sometimes you need that in this space and in this industry. So looking forward to it. Please click the link in the description. It is the Google Forms document link. So click that bad boy, fill out the form, and I'm looking forward to meeting every single one of you that fills it out. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, all that good stuff. Follow us across the board. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and Instagram and Threads at KBIZZLE11. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It goes a long way for helping the show continue to grow, helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia, and lets us continue to do things like onboarding and bring in new faces to the company. So keep subscribing on Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. We're on that road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get there before the end of the year. So keep subscribing, leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and ring the bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos. And this show is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. Their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 667, an onboarding edition of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I'm your boy KB. I'll catch you guys on the next one. We're ever so close to catching up and being back to normal traditional content on this show, as Red October is right around the corner. The birds are getting ready to fly in Brazil, and a whole lot more. But until the next episode, I'm getting the heck up out of here, and I'm signing off. Peace.